Hi guys, Dogre here with a new video, and this video, weirdly enough, is a video I didn't expect to make. That I, yeah, I thought about it. I thought about like actually not making this video because it would make me like a fool, but I accept my mistakes. I accept everything that I have said bad about Cataclysm. I genuinely think, so hear me out, I genuinely think that Cataclysm was probably and is probably, for me, the best classic expansion till MoP. Obviously MoP is going to happen and we will have a judgment there. It is the best classic expansion from the classic servers that we have since 2019. Let me explain. I genuinely think that Cataclysm has been tons of fun. I have regrets not playing it more, which is crazy, but it is how I feel currently. The more I play right now, the more I want to level other characters, want to gear up through arenas, through the elemental dungeon mechanic that they have implemented to actually catch up with gear very efficiently and very fast. As a DPS, as a healer, as a tank. I think the raids are also pretty fun. It is challenging, for sure, since Cataclysm is out. That is the expansion that actually broke a few guilds. Because simply the skill cap is a bit higher than in Wrath. And I do believe, like, the leveling is, yes, broken because the world feels smaller but also big. And you don't really find a lot of people in open world because they still haven't nerfed boosting. They haven't nerfed a lot of these systematic problems that the classic servers have. And they should definitely do that for a next fresh ever, like, even anniversary servers, that they should really ban boosts. But that to a point. I truly believe that I have a lot of fun with Cataclysm. And I want to show you guys why I have a lot of fun with Cataclysm. So I have played on a multitude of tunes. So I have played my Warlock. I have played my shaman now. I have played my DK. I have played my druid. I even have a hunter and a rogue, which they are not geared. I don't know if I plan to gear them ever before Mr. Pandaria. I don't think it's going to happen. But I'm having a lot of fun with the class designs as a whole. Not every single class design is like hits for me. Like, for example, I think Destruction Warlock is not really a hit. If you compare with like later expansions or even expansions from before, like even Wrath, I do believe like Chaos Bolt feels like no damage. And it feels like not that great to press. And that's something like, it's hard to hardwire myself to that. But what I like about Cataclysm is you have a multitude of ways to get gear, and very easily, very fast. You have a lot of people actually doing RBGs, even though like often they are like AFK RBGs to get conquest. Or you have like RBGs where you have literally guilds. Like, so I'm in a guild. It's called Pro PvP. I have another guild called Champions Circle, excuse me, on Firemall, which is on another tune. But I like to have like two guilds, so I have like best of both worlds. I really enjoy the fact that there is really a PvP community, and for me, PvP feels very active. I already made multitude of videos about that, but like 2-minute average wait time for just a random BG, guys. It's really fast. If you compare it to retail, if you compare it to, especially retail, sorry, there's only a retail that has that problem. Like, even classic, if you want to do AV, it's quite fast. If you want to do AV in Warzone Gulch, unfortunately, it is not the case because they made those two BGs worthless. TBC has a lot of things they can learn from Cataclysm on a systemic feature, I would say, that they could implement on Anniversary without breaking the game, without like making the game easier or harder. It would just make it more interesting, but that is a side point. I'm not gonna do a BG here. The things that I do love about, like, first of all, let's talk about DK, because I'm on my DK right now, right? I'm playing Frost DK. I even play Blood DK in arenas 2v2, but that's a bit, like, toxic, but it works. What I like about Frost DK is it has such a design that if you play retail, you play Frost DK from Cataclysm, it doesn't feel like you are, like, playing a vastly different design. But retail, everything is baked into Pillar of Frost. Pillar of Frost is such a big, like, cooldown that if you are messing up your Pillar of Frost, your whole pressure is just not there. You are, like, in a situation where you are not going to score a kill. But what I like about Frost DK is they had Hungering Cold. So I don't know, I think it is a ability that is really good, and I wish it was still there, but it is just not there. Yes, we have a CC bloat on retail. For me, the CC bloat on retail is part of the micro CC environment. You have a lot of stops, a lot of routes, a lot of, like, constant stop on your gameplay, that it is not like that one long CC, like, of 6 seconds that is really annoying, but it is the 2 seconds CC every single, like, 5 seconds that you get. That is what is annoying to me. Not the long CC, because at the end, if your healer is not CC, they can dispel you, and they have, like, a dispel that they can spam. So that's a design choice. Again, I don't know if retail should learn something about, like, being able to spam dispel. I think there is, like, a sort of a skill towards making someone dispel your stuff, having a CD of 8 seconds so you can do your stuff afterwards. So for example, spam polymorphing. You know that he is going to dispel that one polymorph, so you at least get 3 seconds of, like, braving time from the polymorph that you have done on the DPS. But I do love Hungering Cold. Hungering Cold is like a casting ability. It is a nerf from Wrath. Wrath is instant, but it's a casting ability, and whenever you're doing it, that is a CC that you put on everyone. And it's one of my favorite abilities in arenas, my favorite abilities in RBGs, favorite ability in random BGs. In general, favorite ability even in PvE. In PvE, I do that whenever I see a lot of pressure. Boom, I do that and everyone is dotted, and also it stops a cast, for example, and saves my team. Especially with the random elemental rune protocol Twilight. That is, like, insane. I really enjoy the gameplay around Twilight. And the gear that it drops is actually good also for, like, new tunes. Like, again, this one is leveled 2 days ago. No, excuse me, yesterday. I leveled it yesterday. I got a lot of justice points. I did transfer it to honor points. And then I spammed a lot of those elemental rune protocol Twilights. I found, like, someone to do 2v2 with, like, double DPS. I went blood, he went feral druid. We did lose, we did win. At the end, how many wins did I do? Well, I have 11-6. It's not, like, it's good. It's really great, actually, because I would not have thought I would have won 11 matches and 6 losses. But I really enjoy the gameplay. I enjoy to be able to do double DPS without being, like, stomped by by healer teams that just, like, backpedals and clicks on their abilities. Whenever I lose, I feel like, I deserve to lose, even as a double DPS. It's not a systemic loss that I have whenever I'm playing double DPS in Cataclysm. And that will be the same for Miss Pandaria as well. That's also one of the reasons why I really enjoy Cataclysm. Like, I love the gameplay around being able to survive a bit. Even if I am a DPS, I don't have a healer behind me. And yes, sometimes matches are longer. If you have a healer, it's a healer DPS versus a healer DPS. The matches can tend to be longer because, again, one mistake doesn't make you lose the game directly. It's multitude of mistakes in a row that makes you lose the game. Or one great CC, like chain CC on the right time with a trinket not being there, and the enemy getting stunned, for example, cross CC, that is able to make you win the game. Or with mana, with a mana burn, for example, or being able to totem bash resto shamans to the point where their soft healing from healing stream totems and riptide hots are not enough to sustain the damage that you're doing. I like that gameplay. And yes, more strikes are really powerful in this version of the game because not everyone has more strikes, or at least like the vast majority of classes doesn't have a more strike. But for example, Frost Decay have Necrotic Strike, and even though Necrotic Strike doesn't seem like something big, it is 6,800 healing received will be absorbed, and you can spam it, and you can spam it, and you can spam it, and that becomes a very big amount of absorb. And that can sometimes make you win the game. And that's what I like about like DK in general. I'm talking about Blood Decay, I'm talking about Unholy Decay, I'm talking about Frost Decay as well. And the gameplay is not around Pillar of Frost every single time. Well, a good Pillar of Frost will make you deal significant damage. And that's true. That's not going to change. It's going to give you significant damage, and it's going to feel like, okay, interesting. But that 40k obliterate without Pillar of Frost will be 39. It's like that you are able to deal damage, significant damage, even without a big Pillar of Frost go. 39k. Obliterate is physical damage deal ability. You can go full haste as a Frost Decay. You don't need to go full mastery. Full mastery is very good because obviously you can then do a lot of damage with Howling Blast and with your Frost Strike. But if you are going to go about a obliterate build, going full haste is very good for the rune regeneration because you need a lot of runes to be able to do a lot of obliterates. Obviously, you will get more Killing Machine procs because you have way more strikes, because Killing Machine is about the strikes and not about the crits. That's like a lot of things, little things, really little things that makes the game way better. And I enjoy that. And that's about DK, but I could do a video about Resto Shaman, I could do a video about Elemental Shaman, I could do a video about Affliction Warlock. Destruction Warlock, it's really a weird state. Same for Feral Druid. I feel like not being able to morph out of roots kind of sucks, because that's the only expansion where you cannot morph out of roots. That's Cataclysm, because in Wrath you could, and in MoP you will be able to. That's some like design choices where I'm not really in line to. But like, if you're asking me what is more fun to play, Unholy Decay, Frost Decay, Blood Decay from this expansion, Cataclysm, or from retail, I would in a heartbeat say this expansion. This expansion makes it way more fun. You don't have 10,000 CC because you don't have Blinding Sleet. Blinding Sleet doesn't exist. You have Hungering Cold on a 1 minute CD. It's a cast time, it can be stopped, and it breaks on damage. Blinding Sleet is a 45-second CD in retail, and it's a cone, and obviously sometimes it breaks directly, sometimes it doesn't. And Strangulate is another 2-minute CD. It's only a silence, and you cannot stun with it, so you don't have Asphyxiate. And you can have a glyph to make it possible that if someone is casting, you're doing a Strangulate, it becomes 7 seconds. That's your only CC. And you're obviously Mind Freeze, which is very strong. It's a 10-second CD, but you have melee range. I cannot Mind Freeze from here, right? But Frost Decays, Unholy Decays, Blood Decays from retail can actually Mind Freeze from here. Actually from here even, 15 yards. So, if you're thinking that this current version of DK is OP, well, it is not. It is balanced around things like not being able to break roots. So Frost Mages can root you forever, and you need a Dispel to get out of roots. You have nothing else that makes you get out of roots. But your Foresight gives you, because they know, whenever you are struck by a movement impairing effect, you will generate 15 runic power over 5 seconds. So you could actually deal damage with Death Coral. Or you're going to do damage with your Rune Strike if you're a Blood Decay, whatever you are. If you are like a Frost Decay, you're going to be able to do more Frost Strikes. Those are like the things that are like thoughtful. And you don't have like PvE tier set. Like the sets, the 2 sets and 4 sets are PvP designed. And yes, you can go for PvE gear, but the PvE gear has no resilience, so basically you are like literally one-shottable by any PvP player in a stun, and you don't want that. But because whenever I'm striking someone that has PvE gear, I do, oh, he has no gear, and then he gets obliterated. Anyways, that's a lot of rambling about like design. But what else is good about Cataclysm? And about Mists of Pandaria, because again, the difference between Kata and Mists of Pandaria and retail is like Kata and Mists of Pandaria is like this, if you look at my camera, like this, and then Mists of Pandaria to retail is like this. I can't even, like, I don't even see my camera, but it's like big, right? It's big. What makes it really good about Cataclysm? Well, now I'm gonna bash Classic, but they have changed one thing, which was not in the case in Cataclysm: Conquest. Conquest has been introduced, I think, in Worlds of Draenor, if I'm not mistaken. It might be Mists of Pandaria, but I think Worlds of Draenor. And that's something that makes you come back very, very fast. You, in Wrath of the Lich King and TBC, cannot gain your arena points back from the weeks that you haven't played before. So you only gain a certain amount of points every week. You cannot go beyond, you cannot go really below. It's just like play 10 games with your rating, and that's the amount of points you're going to get based on your rating. Just need to play 10 games. You can go AFK 10 games and that's it. Conquest is literally like, you win, you get 250 points, you lose, you get 70 points. So even by losing, you get something. Something that retail really does not do that. For example, you do 2s. If you're winning a whole whopping 0 out of 10 games, you're getting 0 out of 10 games of Conquest. You can come back very easily in Cataclysm, and I would say Mists of Pandaria will be the same, because it's going to be the same system. You can come back to the game whenever you want. Like, I'm on the end of the season and I get gear like literally dropped on my head. Like those legs I have bought, the head I have bought, this I have won from the Elemental Rune Twilight. It's not the best weapon, but it is a serviceable weapon. I have a trinket from PvE, which you can also buy from the tokens you would get from those dungeons. Justice points, I use it for making it honor points. Even valor points, I make it conquest points. And that's how I get gear. And obviously you have also your BGs, and you have then also your arenas. Multitude of ways to get gear pretty easily. You just need to have like a baseline gear, and you can buy it pretty easily out of the auction house for not a lot, like 200. Like I bought those things for 200, 214 this one as well. Those boosts 230 you see, 255 for chest. Like, it's not expensive, because like gold really rains on you while you're leveling, and it's better whenever you're questing. But if you're doing dungeons, you can like pretty much get less, but you will get the justice points, so you can spend that on honor, so why not? But I do really enjoy everything that Cataclysm actually proposes to me. I feel like the PvP environment is cool. I think they messed up a lot of stuff, which makes a lot of players think, it is really bad. I think if they put a bit of balancing just here and there every season, like just a slight balancing, like very slight. You don't need to do a 180 on a certain class, but like just slight balancing, it would make the game a bit more unpredictable. The meta being a bit more less stale. Although, to be fair, like every season the meta kind of changed, because the legendary staff made casters way better, for example, while in season 1 you didn't have the elemental staff, so the meta has been changed already, but a bit more, I would say, from season to season would be nice. I would say also, like, all those servers that are ghosted, because those are like literally ghost servers, they should just merge into one. Like, I think Firemon, Gehennas, they should merge together, so you have a 50-50 realm. That would be nice. You would have queue times, but I think it would make the servers a bit more alive, especially for Mists of Pandaria World PvP. I think like boosting should be already gone. Unfortunately, it is not, but it would be nice. And that's it, pretty much. I think the implementation of the elemental runes, which was the other one was from Wrath. I don't know how it's called anymore. That is something I would like to see in TBC as well. TBC Classic, I think that would make heroic dungeons like less boring, because at one point heroic dungeons becomes very easy, and it would be nice to like be able to get raid items from previous tier into dungeons that you're doing every day. You would get your rep, you would get your dungeon gear, you would get your raid gear from previous tier in the dungeons, and yes, it would destroy the mentality of doing previous tiers dungeons as well, like Karazhan, whenever SSC comes out. But obviously, like, I think it should be alright to get also gear from dungeons, and would make it a bit more alive. Like, all those things makes me think like Cataclysm has been the ultimate classic server, and I know that a lot of people like put Cataclysm a lot of slack, like retail players put Cataclysm on slack because the meta and how it is, and also like it is like in between classic and retail, while it is just classic in my opinion. It has never been retail to me. And classic players like from vanilla, they're thinking that Cataclysm is literally retail, while I think Cataclysm is more way closer to classic, and I'm talking classic, not even TBC or RAF, but classic, than retail. Like, I think you guys don't like, you need to play this version just to understand what I'm talking about. So anyways, that's a bit of a video I wanted to make on the primary channel. I'm going to make another video on the secondary channel talking about like what TBC could learn from Cataclysm servers. I'm going to have Slack that there as well, but I do believe like I have regrets. Like, it's really regret. Again, I don't use those words lightly because I think regret is big, but I do feel like a bit of regret because I stopped Cataclysm to play SOD, which I stopped very quickly. And I stopped Cataclysm as well to play retail patch, which at the end got me disappointed anyways. So I feel like Cataclysm was very fun. The first month, like 2 months that I played Cataclysm was very fun. I dropped because I thought like, okay, that is not the future of like for myself and for the channel. Thought like, Cataclysm, whatever. I'm going to wait Miss Pandaria. And I'm going to play SOD because it was the next big thing with retail patch that is also coming out at the same time. But at the end, Cataclysm has been the one that have had the most fun. So, quite crazy to me. But anyways, wanted to make this video. Thank you for watching this video, really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. I'll be making a lot of Miss Pandaria videos, even on this channel, because I do believe it is way more fun than retail. And if Miss Pandaria, for some miracle, comes out with a solo queue system, then it would blow retail out of the water like every single day of the week. Just need to see the retail players on Twitch play the Miss Pandaria and how they think and how they react on stuff. Like, it is a different source of frustration. Sometimes you're frustrated because you lose it, that's normal, but it is not like the kind of frustration you would get in retail. That's how I see. I feel like a lot of the frustration is like justified as well, but it's not like you are a victim of the systems and the designs of like the choices from Mythic Plus. That is not like happening in Miss Pandaria. You don't have every single ability on the AoE. You don't have like unbreakable CC like Fears and whatnot. On retail you have that now for some reason. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.